that was real high, and I need to really bring it down because, woo! Okay, I guess I could have said hello, 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 hello. That felt a whole hell of a lot more comfortable, okay? But I wouldn't be extra animated me if I didn't do it that way. So nevertheless, hello world. I am super glad that you decided to tune in with me and my VIP on today. I am so excited for my guest today. And this is about to be a super extra show. I ain't going to give you all the tidbits and the behind the scenes of it. One day you'll get behind the scenes stuff. Nevertheless, so I have a really extra special guest. But before I tell you anything about her, I need you to share. Show me that sharing is caring. I know you heard that phrase before. Sharing is caring. So show me you care. Sow into my life and share this broadcast with somebody. Okay, share this show with somebody. So go on and like it, comment, make sure you subscribe, and turn the notifications on. Okay. So I have a treat for you. I have a VIP that's extraordinary. Don't judge me for being extra, okay? Nevertheless, she's a fabulous individual, and she is going to tell us a whole lot about herself. She is nice and fit. She got a cute little shape. I promise you she do from what I've seen. I know I haven't seen all of it. I haven't been able to behold all the goodness thereof. Nevertheless, what I've seen is cute, okay? So she's going to tell us about herself. I will tell you this. At the age of 18, she had some transition that happened to her, and I'm going to allow her to express that on today. So stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. I am going to bring to the forefront Miss Parker. Hey, Sunshine.
Hi, everyone. Hi.
How are you feeling? Huh?
I said thank you for that nice intro.
You know, hey, I do what I do. I try. I'm just a little extra. I'm trying to calm down, but I'm really not going to. One day I'll get there. Probably not soon. Is your day going amazing? How are you going to tell us how your day is going?
Oh my gosh, my day's going all right. So I'm from Melbourne, Australia. So it's just past 8 a.m. here on a Sunday morning. It's winter. It's cold. It's raining. It's windy. Today's only going to get better.
Yes, it is. And you know what's very interesting that you're saying this is I am in sunny South Florida, and it is not sunny today. Okay, so I'm telling you, I'm in sunny Florida. However, it has been raining, it has been storming, and I haven't been really excited about the weather, but I have been excited to be on top of the dirt and the dirt not on top of me. So even though it's kind of dreary outside, it's a good day because we are alive.
We are alive. Absolutely.
So I'm super grateful for that. Tell me what you do for a living.
So I'm a secondary school physical education teacher. So yeah, working with teenagers. I love what I do. It's my 11th year of teaching. I'm humanities history trained as well, but I haven't taught that for quite a while now. It's been a lot of physical education. And I also run my school's volleyball program, so that keeps me really busy.
Okay, absolutely. See, I know you were super fit and keeping that good physique and stuff like that. I guess that's a part of being like, is it offensive me calling you a PE teacher?
Absolutely not. It's better than gym teacher.
Got it. Well, because it is that physical education that you're giving us. But I don't want to call it gym. I mean, we practice and play in the gym. I don't call it a little gym.
Yeah, we'll go with physical education. We'll go with physical education.
We'll go with that. Good stuff. Good stuff. So tell me this. What made you get all into being fit and fitness and such?
Oh, I grew up playing sport. I think actually from quite a young age, I was really, really lucky. So, you know, my mum was in a really blessed situation where she actually took time off work and didn't go back to work till I was 18. So I guess she was the best taxi in the whole wide world and started me off with dancing and gymnastics. And I remember at age 6, I made friends with somebody who actually played netball, which I don't know if you guys are super into your netball. It's more a Commonwealth sport. You might have to Google it.
Okay.
Netball. Netball. It's a little bit like basketball, but with a hell of a lot more rules. You can't step with the ball. You can't go all over the court. You can't bounce the ball.
Pause. So what are you doing then with it?
I know. It's actually far more skillful. You got to throw it. You can bounce it to your teammate, but you can't bounce it to yourself. You're still shooting it in a hoop, but we have different positions.
Girl, I gotta Google this because I just got hella confused because I'm sitting here going like, wait, a ball and I can't bounce it and I can't. I felt like I heard a whole bunch of can'ts. What can I do?
I know. You can pass the ball, but yes, you can't go everywhere, and you can shoot it in a hoop, but not everybody can. There's only 2 positions on the court that can. So it's a big Commonwealth sport, and it's actually our leading female participating sport in Australia.
I need to find out more about this. You just done stumped me, and you got me scratching my little bit of hair that I do have. I'm about to have
I know. It's big in Australia, New Zealand, England, Jamaica's really big in it. So yeah, you'll have to have a bit of a Google. But started playing that from a young age. At age 11, I started playing volleyball. I just happened to go to a high school that had volleyball, and that led into me playing at more of a representative level, representing my state.
Okay.
My nana actually was a big gym goer. So my nana turns 91 this year, but she used to go to the gym every day, and she bought me my first gym membership when I was a little bit younger. So she's been probably a big inspiration behind me going to the gym. But yeah, I love it. I think a lot of people ask me where my motivation comes from, and I've got nothing for you. I just love it.
Okay. That's a good thing. Well, I probably need to love it myself because I'm so doggone fluffy now. It's not funny, but I enjoy my little fluff, okay?
Oh, there's something about it, being outside. I've got a dog too who needs walking constantly, so she keeps me really busy. Okay. And I love team sports.
Okay, that's what's up. I got you. So let's dive in. Ready?
Yep. Ready.
I know you said I exercise, and we're about to go swimming because we're about to dive, okay?
Yeah, swimming I'm not very good at, but let's go.
So at 18, something happened to you. Transition happened to you in your life. And would you say it was devastating enough to be life-changing for you, or was shattering? Is that scary for you for me to say life-shattering?
No, it's probably sums it up perfectly. Shattering.
Okay. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, so for us, year 12 is our final year at high school. So we're talking in December. We finished probably maybe October, November, had our exams. I just finished quite a significant volleyball tournament. We went on our schoolies, which is our, I guess, how we celebrate finishing high school together. And I had just turned 18, which is our year of 18 in Australia is when we're allowed to drink. We're allowed to get our license. We're allowed to be adults, I suppose.
Okay. I mean, 18, we can kind of do that too, but drinking is 21.
Yes. Okay. But you can drive earlier, can't you?
We could drive as early as, 15, 16 with your permit.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah. So we're at 18, I suppose. It's the first time we're allowed to drive by ourselves. And yeah, our drinking age is age 18. And that's when we're finally allowed to go to a club. So it's quite an exciting time, I think, for 18-year-olds is a big birthday for us because it is life-changing in itself. So I did go out with a group of friends from a high school. I came from quite a sheltered life. I went to a private school, beautiful school, don't get me wrong, but I think in terms of street smarts and I guess what happens in the real world outside those school walls, I was probably quite naive to. And going out with my friends, drinking, I think me along with them, we were quite unaware of some of the dangers out in the world. Sure. And unfortunately for me, I did get separated from my friends that night. And I happened to
you guys were just having fun? You guys separated, or it's just like they were like, "Hi, I'm leaving you. I'll be back."
Yeah, so it was more of it was a really busy club, really busy. At a lot of the clubs out here, I'm not sure if it's where you are. They're normally in big concrete buildings. Reception is 0. Okay. And we're talking back in 2006. So 2006, mobile phones.
Gotcha.
Not super useful. So it just happened to get busy. I got separated, couldn't find them. Okay. I'm going around desperately in this club trying to find my friends, can't find reception. It eventually led me to going outside to trying to call them. I didn't get a pickup. I didn't get a text. I did ask the bouncer if they, I guess I tried to explain what my friends look like. Where did they go? I know it's quite busy, and he said, I think I know which group you're talking about. I think they actually left maybe a couple of minutes ago. You're just behind them. I think they turned left.
Okay.
So I've turned left. I've wandered down thinking maybe they've gotten a bite to eat. We're talking probably early morning now, maybe 2, 3 a.m.-ish.
Okay.
And I just happened to run in a group of men that weren't safe. If I think about what went through my head in the lead up to seeing these men, you do get a sixth sense. I knew something wasn't right.
Sure.
I had been drinking. I probably wasn't in complete control. We do get told not to walk on the streets by yourself, for example. But I think 18-year-old brain, she'll be right, It'll be okay. There's people around. It'll be fine.
Okay.
And unfortunately for me, it wasn't fine. One of these men did grab me, tried to kiss me, and I did try to get away, and I did slap him, which provoked them running after me, and it did turn into a gang rape essentially.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's devastating. That's life-changing. That's extreme. How fast was it for you to tell anybody?
2 years.
So you kept that to yourself for 2 whole years. Not even like one of the friends. When did you finally reach up to your friends? When did you find them?
I know. I remember the next, I suppose, when I sort of came to finding my mobile phone, there were no calls or texts. I probably didn't hear from them for a couple of days. And I think going through what I went through, I remember waking up in that alleyway telling myself, I just have to pretend this didn't happen.
Wow.
I have to pretend this didn't happen. We see, on SVU, we see on the TV, we hear about these awful things that happen, and rape culture is quite significant, I think, in society and in anywhere and everywhere. And I know it's gotten better since 2006, but I think it's still something we struggle with. And 18-year-old me only knew that we were always told alcohol, what you're wearing, being by yourself can lead you to being vulnerable. And I think a lot of the time from my understanding, there was quite a lot of victim blaming, which made me fear going to the police or telling anybody what happened because I was scared that I'd done something wrong.
Sure.
I was also dealing with the fact that I didn't hear from my friends, and if I reflect, back into those high school days, I went to quite a small high school, and that's not to say these people they're wonderful people, and there's still a couple of people that I talk to today, but we're young, we're dumb, we don't have a lot of life experience. We're very self-absorbed that age. We know our brain's not fully developed to the age of 21, which is why your drinking age in the States is 21. It makes sense.
Okay.
So we don't necessarily have the ability to think as worldly as what we do when we're older. Were they going to be my forever people? And did they have my best interest at heart back then? Probably not, no. Was it their fault? Absolutely not. It was just a series of unfortunate events. And for me, I think I felt so much guilt, and I felt so much shame, and I felt so much fear. I think that kept me quiet.
Okay. Do you talk to any of those guys now? Was it girls and boys?
Yeah, girls and boys. I speak to one of them, and I speak to one of them quite frequently. They know my story now. And like I said, we're cool. I don't blame anyone. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what decisions anybody makes. No one asks to be raped. Those made their own decision. Right. But yeah, I do still speak to one of them, and we are quite close. I think it took me probably only the last 5 years, though, have I found, I guess, the right people for me that have really had my best interest at heart. Yeah.
What are you doing as of now that's helping you to cope with some of the traumas or the traumatic things of your past?
Talking. I think I learned early on, within that 2 years of not getting help, I developed quite severe PTSD symptoms, chronic anxiety, and I developed quite a significant eating disorder. And when we don't talk about things, our body's quite smart. It'll adapt. It'll find a way to make us feel safe. And I think my eating disorder in particular was I think I love my health and fitness, don't get me wrong, but I think I almost took what I knew to the next level, to the extreme, because that made me feel safe and it made me feel in control. What I'm doing now is I see a psychologist every week, and we're talking nearly 16 years after the event happened. And I've been through periods where I haven't seen a professional, and I've tried to do it on my own. And I think I've really had to come to terms with the fact that what I went through was significant, and I need ongoing support, and that's okay. I also see a dietitian fortnightly, and she just helps make sure I'm looking after myself consistently, because I love my health and physical activity, but I have to make sure I'm fueling it and I'm not using it for evil. And when I say evil, using it for a form of self-punishment, self-worth. I have to remember I love it and do it for the right reasons. And I guess for me this year, and this is quite new, doing what I'm doing now, actually talking to people, I think it's really good for me to have finally found my voice, I suppose, 16 years later. I could always tell people I was sexually assaulted. I could always, after the 2 years, I could tell people I had an eating disorder, but that's quite surface. I think under that, and actually talk about what was really going on in my head, and the battles that I've had and the times that I haven't been in okay, and sharing that really vulnerable me is been quite a recent development. And the more I seem to talk about it, I know the Me Too movement's quite large over in the States, but a lot of people come forward and share their own, I guess, adversities, whether it's sexual assault or it's not. We've all been through trauma, and I think it's okay to say that we went through a shit time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it's brave of you. Can I tell you that? I'm so excited. I think I told you this before, and I mean it now. And I'm going to say it again. I'm so proud of you, especially for sharing your story. I'm sure you do have an idea that there are plenty of people that deal with situations like this. And when traumatic situations end up happening, for some reason, our voices go mute. And I'm saying our because I'm not in that particular situation you were, but I've had a similar situation. And for some reason, our voices love to go on mute during traumatic situations. And it's not helpful and beneficial to us as the person who has been impacted by it, by us putting our voice on silent. It doesn't help in our healing. And it doesn't help individuals know, hey, this is who you should be mindful for, or hey, be mindful of me. Forget any and everybody else. Of course, I'm thinking about people, but in the right now, this happened to me. So I need to make sure that I'm surrounding myself around individuals, and hey, certain words bother me, certain movements bother me. That's comfortable for me. I'm a touchy-feely individual. So if something happens to me, or either I have a flashback of something, for me, I'm like, hey, not right now. I'm real quick to say that. Not now. Hold on, pause. I'll do one of those little numbers. But now I'm such a bubbly individual, and I kind of know how to say it so it's not so jarring. Like, it's like, leave me the hell alone. Don't touch me now. I might feel that way, but I'm like, hold on. Okay, pause. I'll be right back. All right. Hey, I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay. My body is telling me, leave me alone. I'm bothered. But I found ways, because I started talking about it, and because I started opening up and I started sharing, it became a little bit more comfortable. Certain people really, all right, her senses is going off. All right. Certain people know that. And then there's just other people that's just like, oh, she just decided she had to go pee or whatever the case is.
Correct. I think it's, what's the word I'm trying to look for? It's trying to find the right people, I think, that understand you and hear you. I think everybody has a story, and we're so quick to, I guess, blame other people for their actions and reactions. I think I've learned over time that I might not necessarily understand how someone acts or reacts, and it's not necessarily my responsibility to completely understand it, but I have to respect it. And I think I'm surrounded by people who are respectful of the fact that 90% of the time I'm happy, I'm bubbly, I'm outgoing, but sometimes there is 10% where I'm not okay, and I'm not in the best place, and I don't have words for it, and I don't want to be hugged, and I don't want to talk, and I lose eye contact, and I lose my speech. And I think I've gone through relationships, friendships, sporting teams that perceive that as a negative thing.
Yeah.
I'm really blessed now that I think I'm around people who understand my story, but that's also come from me communicating that. You know, we know that communication is the fundamentals of everything, and we all have our triggers, we all have our pet peeves, we all have things we're okay, not okay with.
Mm-hmm.
People don't know what these things are unless we actually tell them.
Mm-hmm. 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 And it's our responsibility to tell it, but it was also once we become into our healed mode, and I don't like to say healed because I don't feel like it's ever an end to heal. I think it's always a healing, and we're always continuously growing in regards to that. But it's our responsibility to surround ourselves with safe individuals. And it's also, once we get on the other side of it, to have safe spaces and safe boundaries, because I want the next individual to feel safe telling me, hey, this is what's going on. But I also don't want to open myself up too much to just feeling like anybody can dog me and for trauma happening again. So I want to be a safe space for individuals, but I also need a safe space to have around me as well. And I think that's super, I'm grateful that you finally got your team that's around you, but I think that's super important for us to have.
Oh, we all need a team, and you know, I think we put ourselves under so much pressure, I think, to find that team. I think high school is a really pinnacle moment in our lives where we meant to have our forever friends, and they're going to be there forever, and they're going to be our number one. And when we think about it, high school is such a small portion of our life, and to find your forever people in high school is very rare. I think if we hold one or two people dear at high school, I think we're very lucky to have found those people. I found those people much, you know, later in my life, and I found them, you know, at my sporting clubs and at my gym. And I think it also took me a long time to probably feel comfortable setting boundaries with people. But I think I also had to learn a couple of times that not everyone's going to be okay supporting you. And that's not a nasty thing. I think my story is quite heavy. A lot of people have quite heavy stories, and not everybody has the ability or is able to, or in that space to be what you need, as a form of support.
And that's okay though, because everybody can't be there for you, and it's up to us to understand and recognize that doesn't mean that you're an evil person. That doesn't mean that I hate you. It doesn't mean that I dislike you, but you're just not right for me or for me right now. And it's up to us to figure that out. And so find the boundaries.
Absolutely. And I think we need to learn not to be so harsh on ourselves and harsh toward other people. We just need to be okay with the fact that not everybody is going to be in that inner circle, and it's nobody's fault. We're not designed to get along with everybody. And that's okay. And I think I've also found it's been really helpful. Like I said, I see my psychologist weekly, and that's amazing because I can speak to this neutral, amazing, loving professional who you know, I do absolutely view as a friend, but I can tell her my inner, deepest, darkest secrets, and I know that it's not going to affect us at a friendship level because it's a professional thing, and it perhaps takes away I think when I didn't necessarily have that going all the time, sometimes I was seeking things from friends that they couldn't necessarily give me. Whereas now I've got that professional person to give me what I need, and I can feel heard without having to unleash on my friends that have got their lives as well. They're there always. They're always going to be there, and they can always help me and support me. But I do generally try and leave the really heavy stuff to my health professionals.
Good. I mean, that's their profession.
Exactly.
And sometimes we need that professional because I don't need your opinion, friends. You know, and I don't want the weight of you knowing whoever it is that affected me. And then you're trying to tell me their worldview of it and why they did what I don't want that. again, I'm being selfish in the moment, and it's about me. I don't want you to tell me about them and fix it.
Yes.
I just really need to talk. I don't even want to know what your opinion is.
Yes. And our friends and our loved ones want the best for us, and they want to fix the problem. And I think mental illness in particular, it's so complex for a reason, and it doesn't necessarily have the answers. Sure. And it's far more complicated, especially eating disorders. There's a reason it's the #1 killer of mental illness, is because of its complexities. You know, and I think, you know, our loved ones are fixers. They want to fix us. They want to make it better, and they might be able to see the answers without understanding the complexities behind it. And that's so much pressure and stress on them, which then leans onto us. And it's so hard. I think it's a skill I've learned over time, is to hear people and just say that I hear you. I don't have to give them answers. I don't have to give them opinions. I just have to say I hear you. And that's probably some of the best therapy in the world.
Sometimes you just want to be heard. I don't need you to talk. I just want you to be there. Just want that shoulder. And it's not to cry on. I just want the shoulder. Sometimes it's okay just to be seen.
Yes.
That's all it is. I just need you just to shh. I don't even want, but see, even when we do the index finger out that you still can talk. I do be telling people, shh. That's what I need you to
Yeah. So true.
Yeah, I need you to shut away up. So questions I have at the end of the show. I always have this or that game that I like to play, right?
I saw this. I'm so excited. What a fun game.
But before we get to that part, how are you feeling about you sharing some of what you've shared? You feeling okay?
Yeah, I am. I actually I feel safe in this circle, and I feel comfortable. I feel empowered. It's taken me a long time to feel safe enough to share my story without shame and fear weighing me down.
Right.
And I feel like, to anybody out there, you know, listening to this, if you just need to feel heard, I want you to find that space where you can do that. I think talking about how we're feeling is far more healing than we give it credit for, as long as we've got the space to do it in. And if you're not surrounded by the right people, that's when it's really important to reach out to those professionals, because I think my biggest forms of healing have come from talking. From not talking, I developed quite severe mental illness, and I've got an eating disorder that I now have to manage lifelong. And not to say that it wouldn't have been there, but if I had spoken out earlier and gotten help earlier, I think my story may have been very different.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm feeling good.
Good. I like hearing that. This is all. That's the goal, is for you to feel safe. And I never want you to I never want to put you in a situation or a space where you felt unsafe. And I was very careful at some of the things that I was asking, because I never wanted to be, I don't want to be a trigger for anybody. So I didn't want that at all. I want to be a safe space. And if you felt like you wanted to fall, I wanted you to understand my hands ain't that big, but I will catch you.
Thank you. It was a beautifully safe space, I think.
Good stuff. Okay, so it's time for the this or that.
All right, I'm ready.
As far as, so we talked about having a team, right? So as far as building a team, would you want to have a team more so online or in person?
Oh, in person. Absolutely in person. I don't know. I know it was a bit different in America, but the pandemic for us, we had the second harshest lockdown in Melbourne, Australia. China was the first one. We spent 2 years locked in our house, and it's not for me.
Yeah, it's not for me either. It was a crazy time for me. Sorry, because I'm supposed to be playing a game, but that was crazy because, again, I'm a touchy-feely individual, and I'm like going up to you, and I'm like, "Hey, your shoulder's right there." I'm like, "So," and I'll just touch you. And the fact that I couldn't do that, it was weird for me, and I'm like, I don't like this, and I just want FaceTime. I don't like FaceTime, but FaceTime became something that I cared about because I needed to see you, but I was still mad because I couldn't touch you.
I know, and being a high school teacher, teaching for 2 years online, it's not the same thing. It's
really?
Thing. Yeah, no. No,
Yeah.
hopefully never have to do that again.
Yeah. In person it is. Gotcha.
In person.
Gotcha. Who's better at driving, men or women?
Oh, women. Sorry, I mean, bless all the men that I know, but the women that I'm surrounded by are far better drivers.
I got you. Last question then.
Ooh, I'm excited now.
What's crazier, what women do for money or what men do with their money?
That's a really hard question. I know a lot of men that have really bought some really stupid things. But I think sadly today in society, I think women, we do too much for money.
Yeah.
In a space that we don't need to do it. And I think that comes back to remembering our worth and what we stand for.
Ooh, that's good. Good. That remembering our worth matters. And I kid you not, it's just sometimes you're absolutely, for me, I think we do some weird stuff. That's my word right now, is weird.
Weird. We'll go with weird.
We do some very weird stuff, and there are certain things that are fetishes for people, and there's certain things that are just weird, and then there's just certain things I won't say that we shouldn't. I'm saying we shouldn't do, because that's just Tiffany's standard. It's just certain things that I feel, but just because I feel like it's bad, I'm not going to really crucify the next person to do it. For instance, let's just say I'm okay with strippers. I love strippers as an individual. I don't knock you. That's what you want to do. Just for me. As for me, I just don't want to be one.
And that's okay. That's okay.
And it's okay. So, and I don't knock anybody for doing it. I've been to strip clubs. So, I mean, I'm okay with it. So I don't knock you for it. But it's just not for me to do. But I'm not going to make you feel bad.
I'm not. I know it's not for me either. I don't think I go very well as a stripper. I
don't know, the way my hips are set up now. It might. Okay, never mind. Okay, I quit.
Love that.
Tell me this. What is the final words you want everyone to know? I know you said something before, or is that what you want to say? What you want the world to know?
Your voice matters. Your voice matters. We're all worthy of being heard. The quieter we are, the more power we give shame and fear. And shame and fear can hold us back from being present and being in the world. I've definitely learned that the hard way. And I know that there's a lot of people that stay silent because they're scared of what other people think about them or getting in trouble. Find your circle, find your people, reach out to professionals, and just remember, your voice matters.
Your voice does. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Find your voice and use it. I absolutely love it. Can I tell you, I appreciate you one more again. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a safe space and letting your story be heard. We have attentive ears, and I'm super grateful that you decided to allow us to hear your heart. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. This is not the last time me and you gonna communicate, though. I just want you to understand that. Okay.
Hopefully it's just the beginning.
See, I like what you did there. I absolutely like what you did there. Okay, well, Hear My Heart Nation, that's going to be it for today's show. Tune in with me next week when I will have another very special VIP with me on next week. So that's going to be it for the show. Tune in next week. Same time, same Hear My Heart channel. All right, y'all. Grace and peace. You ain't going to say bye to the people? You so mean.
Oh, bye. Bye, everybody.